Greetings, mistress. Your home was difficult to find. I've never been out on my own before, but I found it. Many people know of you. I hope I've made myself useful. I've already begun cleaning and I can cook. Not as good as Papa, but a little. Is there anything else you'd like me to do?
What sort of skills do you have?
Not many, I fear. The Magister bade me to clean and sometimes fetch, but Papa told me to keep out of her sight as much as I could. But I can learn. I'll serve you well. Please don't hurt me.
You've been through a great deal. How are you feeling?
I miss Papa, the other servants. I try not to think about what happened. I even feel sorry for the Magister. Is that bad?
I'm sure Hadriana was very thankful for such loyalty.
I suppose she was. I'll serve you just as well, mistress. You'll see.
If you're staying here, Orana, it will be as my servant.
You mean I won't be a slave anymore?
You'll be paid, like anyone else.
A slave is all I've ever been, like Papa and Grandpapa before me. I'll try to be a good servant. Thank you, mistress. You're too good to me.
Your brother.
I did. Wasn't expecting that.
I assume there was a time when you and he were friends.
With Bartrand? No. Just brothers. Occasionally he wasn't insufferable.
And yet you remained at his side.
Too bad he didn't do the same.
I brought you something. It's shiny and subversive. I thought you'd like it.
You got me a gift? I hardly think I've done anything to deserve that. Is it a... That's a Tevinter Chantry amulet. Do you want me to get executed? It's sacrilege to wear those in any land under the Divine.
Here I thought you fight for mage's rights. Whoever's bad side that puts you on.
I like it. Maybe not on the outside of my clothes. I'm not that eager to face the hangman's noose. But I appreciate the thought. I've never really thought about what life would be like in the Tevinter Chantry. In the Circle, they make it sound like the Void itself. The Black Divine stalking Thedas, making it unsafe for kittens and virgins.
I haven't noticed too many of either in Kirkwall.
And fewer every day, I suspect. I appreciate the gift. Perhaps one day I can return one as meaningful.
If you need advice on how to lay low, I can give you some.
Being short would make for an excellent start, I suspect.
Keep that up, Sirrah, and you can keep on hiding like a rank amateur.
What would you suggest, Varric? Cower in the shadows like a rat?
You could try wearing something that didn't scream, "I hate you all, I was a slave."
The markings would still show.
Really? Through anything? That's kinda cool.
I think I need a bath. Do you think I need a bath?
Last bottle of the Egregio. I've been saving it for a special occasion.
And what's that?
The anniversary of my escape. Astia Vala Firmundis. Care to hear the story?
I thought you avoided talking about this.
Not on special occasions.
I'd like that.
Let's see. You've heard of Saharan? The Imperium and the Qunari have fought over the island for centuries now. I was there with Daenerys during a Qunari attack. I managed to get him to a ship, but there was no room for a slave. I was left behind. I barely got out of the city alive.
There's nothing like war for covering one's escape.
I had no intention of escaping. That time. There are rebels in the Saharan jungles called Fog Warriors. They found me and took me in, nursed me back to health. I stayed with them for a time, until Daenerys finally came for me.
He was relieved to see you'd survived, right?
Relieved to see his investment hadn't ended up in Qunari hands, perhaps. I'd grown fond of the rebels. They bowed to no master and fought for their freedom. It was beyond my experience. When Daenerys came, they refused to let him take me. He ordered me to kill them. So I did. I killed them all.
Once a slave, always a slave.
It felt inevitable. My master had returned and this fantasy life was over. But once it was done, I looked down at their bodies. I felt I couldn't. I ran and never looked back.
Couldn't you have found other Fog Warriors? Become a rebel?
Even if I did, I felt unworthy. I had no way of knowing if I could truly escape from Daenerys then. I didn't even know what that meant. I simply had to get away. I stowed aboard a ship to the mainland and moved south, chased by my former master every step of the way.
I have to wonder why you stayed with Daenerys as long as you did.
You have not been a slave. A slave does not dream of freedom or wonder at possibilities. You think only of your master's desires and what the next hour will bring. It did not occur to me that I could be anything else until I had a taste of it.
But there are stories of slaves rebelling all the time. They did in Kirkwall.
The ritual that gave me my markings also stripped me of my memory. Whatever I was before may as well have never been. Perhaps if I knew, I might have felt differently.
How well did you know these Fog Warriors?
I knew them only a few months, but in that time, I felt as if I truly lived. They were bold, strong, free with their affections. I was in awe of them and owed them everything. And I turned on them even so.
Didn't Daenerys stop you?
The rebels had wounded him. The soldiers he brought attempted to capture me, unsuccessfully. It was weeks before Daenerys was able to mount the hunt in earnest, but by then, I was already gone.
Gripping stuff. You should write it down.
You think they teach slaves how to write? I've never spoken about what happened to anyone. I've never wanted to. Perhaps this is what it means to have a friend.
Might want to take it easy on that bottle.
It's the last one, I swear. To you, Hawke, a finer mage I have never met. So you freed a group of slaves?
Would-be slaves. They weren't slaves yet.
Still, you did the right thing. Many would turn a blind eye.
Don't read too much into it, all right? It just seemed a good idea at the time. Magical fisting thing you do.
Sorry?
You know, when you stick your hand into people.
Oh, that. Yes, it's, talent.
You could make so much coin with that. I've got some of it written down now.
Give it here. Her breasts strained against the leather jerkin like two wild stallions corralled against their will. She pounced, the smooth moves of a jungle cat, and locked her thighs around Donnick's waist.
Maybe you should read the rest of it in private.
I think that's best. You ought to take that offer, Elf. It'd keep the coterie off your back pretty much permanently.
I don't need employment.
But it wouldn't kill you to make some friends in this city. 3 years and you're practically a ghost.
I prefer it that way.
Healthy attitude there. Forget I said anything.
I have a report you might find interesting. It tells of a chasm in the Vinmark Mountains, and a secret that was said to be buried within. Yet when the Chantry went to investigate, they were turned away by the Grey Wardens.
And why would I find that interesting?
Because the champion was there. I can't help but notice you failed to mention this adventure.
Oh, that! I didn't think you'd be interested. Just some business with Hawke's family. A few carded dwarves who went too far. You're not going to believe me.
I'll take my chances.
All right. Don't say I didn't warn you. There it is.
It doesn't look all that dwarven.
These are carded dwarves, so they're more criminals and smugglers than anything else. They're not usually stupid, though. I don't know why they'd attack you.
They gave it their best shot. I can't believe they snuck into the Warden Keep at Ansburg.
Don't feel left out. They've been trying to kill me for several days now.
You have a plan, then? I found their hideout, but my sources couldn't tell me anything else. It's all very strange.
Why do you say that? It's just the Carter, isn't it?
As far as my contacts in the Carter know, they shouldn't be here. There shouldn't even be a here. This place is invisible. A big blind spot on the map. Bianca's never been this suspicious, and she's twitchy to start with.
Does it matter? We just need them to stop trying to kill us.
A fine point. So, what's the plan?
Oh, I'm sure this is all a misunderstanding. Later, we'll all have tea and we'll laugh.
Oh, your name is Hawke. I thought it was Locke.
Yes, we were looking for some other combination of General and Ringmaster. Good thing the Wardens let me come. An attack like this, you need my help.
Let's go. Doesn't like intruders.
They're from the Merchants Guild. The Carter doesn't kill guild members. That's really strange.
You, the brother and sister both, you're here together. You've come.
Is he referring to you and me?
Everyone, it's the children of Malcolm Hawke. They've come to us.
What does my father have to do with this?
It began with him and ends with you. Blood for blood, that's what we were told.
Did Father cross the Carter somehow?
You've come to us now, and that's the only thing that matters.
You tell me. How could I refuse such a delightfully worded invitation?
We must have the blood. You don't understand.
Oh, blood. Why didn't you just ask?
We will take it. Corypheus will walk in the sun once more.
Did you hear that? They're after us. For our blood. But why?
Crazy people like blood. A lot.
Deranged dwarves. We can check that off the list.
The Carter doesn't normally act like this. They're businessmen.
I'd like to know who this Corypheus is. With a name like that, he's bound to go mwahaha at some point. I just know it. And really? More blood? Why can't it ever be spit? Or a lock of hair?
You really want to encounter a spit mage?
For variety, sure.
Amgeforn is Dwarven for sacrifice. That's not a reassuring name.
We never go any place nice, do we? Someday I'll visit a place with no ancient evils, horrors, devouring plagues, or insanity. Maybe a beach.
The day you go to the beach would be the day an armada of angry demon pirates show up.
I'm surprised you agreed to come, Varric. You hate being underground, and you avoid the Carter the same way you do the Merchant Guild.
There's no way I'd miss watching you make these motherless nug lickers cry.
About our escape from Lothering. Why do you make it sound like I had food all over my face?
You're larger than life, Hawke. I had to give you a few flaws just to make you approachable.
Did you just call me fat?
Yes, that's pretty much how I tell it. Hawke rolled into the fray like a gigantic pudding covered in gravy. It's more dramatic that way.
Does it have to be gravy? Couldn't it be chocolate instead?
Everyone's a critic.
They want our blood. Guess they didn't get the news about mine going bad. What's it to do with father?
Carter should want gold, not blood. This is something different.
I'm guessing Corypheus is some kind of demon?
I guess we only get that answer from Corypheus.
More deep roads. Why did we agree to do this again?
This isn't so bad, Blondie. You could be losing more coin to the elf in a game of wicked grace.
At this rate, I'll still be paying him back when I'm dead.
The Hawke's blood. The Master will rise. He will be free.
Garav?
Varric? No one told me you would be part of this. We were just going after the Hawke.
Why has the Carter been attacking me?
I can't say. The Master must be free.
Really, Garav? I thought better of you than this. I mean, gutting the occasional competitor for fun and profit, that's the game. But what are you all even doing here? Worshipping demons?
We drink the Darkspawn blood. He calls us.
Why would you do that? Won't you just die?
It's the only way to hear the music.
Oh, come on, you nug licker. Snap out of it. There's no gold in hallucinating.
Manners, Varric. Introduce me to your lunatic friend.
Hawke, this is Garav. He's a greedy, brilliant bastard son of a nug from the Carter. Garav, this is Hawke. The one whose blood you want to drink, or bathe in, or whatever. But I got to warn you, you catch diseases that way.
The Master is calling. He needs the blood.
Garav, buddy, this isn't like you. Look, I've still got Bianca. Never misfired a day in her life. You don't want her to see her papa like this, do you?
Varric, you want to spare this bastard?
Not if he's after you, Hawke. Bianca, I think it's time to say goodbye. Reinforcements, you bastard!
Let's finish this!
I got blood on my cup. You poor, stupid bastard. I used to do business with the Carter. Back in the day, Garav was a nutcase then too, but in a good way. He was trying to design a new type of repeating crossbow. Bianca was the only one that ever worked. I can't believe he ended up like that.
Keys and blood. Not a good sign. And not how I want to think of Father.
If this has to do with your father, we'd better get our hands on this key.
Hawke, they told me you were going to be trouble. And look, you brought the whole family. How generous.
I swore to Corypheus we'd bring him Malcolm Hawke's blood, one way or the other.
What does this have to do with my father?
The Master wants you. I don't ask why.
So, it's Corypheus who's after me?
What Corypheus wants, Corypheus gets. From us, or from someone.
Corypheus wants some blood? Sure. Let me just open a vein. Oh, how about a kidney, too?
Corypheus, we have done as you command. Your sacrifice is here. You will see the surface once more.
What the... What is this? I can feel it inside me.
The enchantment needed to do that. What did Father know?
This is going to take me to Corypheus.
Those sons of bitches. The whole blasted thing's sealed over.
I guess we should have seen that coming.
And they wonder why I prefer the surface.
One good thing about being trapped in an ancient underground prison. Not a lot of Templars.
You should set up shop. It's no worse than your current digs.
Good point. I could be quite comfortable here, actually. Clean the taint off the floor. Maybe hang a few pictures. It might even be a step up from Darktown.
A new base of operations for Kirkwall's Mage Underground.
It's got potential.
Bound here for eternity, hunger stilled, rage smothered, desire dampened, pride crushed. In the name of the Maker, so let it be. I can do nothing about the Warden's use of demons in this horrid place. But I will have no one say any magic of mine ever released one into the world.
Who was that? I feel like I know that voice.
It sounded like Father, but how?
The key! Did they find it? The dwarves? I heard them. Looking, digging. How do you bring the key here?
You mean this? How is this a key?
Magic. Old magic it is. Magic from the blood. It made the seals. It can destroy them.
I came in here to find Corypheus. Do you know where or what he is?
Do not say his name. He will hear you. Do not wake him. Not when you hold the key.
Let me guess. You want to drink my blood too?
Blood? The blood of the Hawke? Are you the Hawke? Yes, I smell magic on you. But you hold the key to his death. Yes, I can show you out, yes.
Who are you? What's wrong with you?
You ask me that? I'm the one who belongs here, not you. You are no darkspawn.
That armor, it's Warden issue. No one has that.
You hear it, no? Hear it calling. I smell it in you. I know the way out. Follow me. Down and in, down and in.
Because I always like to follow the advice of tainted, crazy people.
Not crazy. No. Trust me. I know the prison's secrets. The seals hold us in. Anything comes in. Nothing ever leaves. Not without the key. You must use it, yes. On the seals. Every seal. You touch the key to it. Only then they open. Only for the Hawke. Not back. Not up. Only way out is down and through the heart. Down. Down in the depths.
Careful. Things down here, they can get complicated. That man. That's how bad it can get. Never thought I'd see it myself. I guess that's why I'm still alive. To stop that.
And dumb luck. That's the other reason you're alive.
Credit where due, I suppose.
Let me guess. The first seal?
2,000 years the magic holds. Never broken. Give it the key. Let it take the magic back to itself. Absorb it. All who came before. The blood works. It is good.
All this talk about my blood is a little creepy. Are you at least planning to tell me your name?
Name? So long since I've said my name. Larius. I was Larius. There was a title too. Commander. Commander of the Grey.
He was a warden. Poor wretch must have come down here on his calling.
That's how it affects you.
Yes, the calling. The songs get louder. Only death stops them. I am dead. But I never died.
Anders? What are you talking about?
Wardens aren't immune to the taint forever. In time, we start to hear voices. The same ones Darkspawn hear.
Not exactly a hero's end, is it?
If you're a warden, then do you know what just happened? What does the seal have to do with my blood?
The magic. It calls to the blood, reads the thoughts of those who hold it. The last to hold it. The Hawke. I was there when he laid the seals. Before I became this. You favor him. Corypheus calls. In the darkness. What waits there?
Left the circle, but I took a vow. My magic will serve that which is best in me, not that which is most base.
That which is best in me. Father used to say that, didn't he? To you and Bethany. She never felt like she could live up to him.
I hope they're together, wherever they are. Talking about magic. Gossiping about us.
I've bought our freedom, Leandra. We can go home now. Us and the baby. We'll be together. I hope it takes after you, love. I would wish this magic on no one. May they never learn what I've done here.
Father didn't want a child with magic. He got that one wrong twice over. You sure didn't show any regret back home. The attention he gave you and Bethany. Well, I guess he figured the worst that could happen to me was tripping on my sword.
You did trip on your sword. A lot.
My weapon's not a walking stick. And the first time I wore armor, it was like strapping a topsy water barrel to my head. Just as dangerous as your demons. Sort of. I did sometimes worry for you two. Bethany just wanted to be normal. As if I made a good case for it.
Nobody thinks you're normal, don't worry about that.
Ha! Fine, I suppose I deserve that. I miss her and Father. Mother's food. You sometimes. Gambling can go suck an egg. Come on. This mess down here is not following us out.
He is waking. The magic grows lax. He feels us walk where no step goes.
Are you talking about Corypheus?
He calls. Like an old god. He mimics their cry.
Can the rest of you hear him? I figured it was just me.
He calls them to free him. The dark children and the light. Any with taint in their blood.
If Corypheus isn't an old god, what is he? Human? Demon? Darkspawn?
More than Darkspawn. More than human. He thinks. He talks. He pierces the veil.
You're talking about an awakened Darkspawn. The Wardens have only encountered them once.
That's the Wardens. Always so sure of everything.
He wants what was once his.
How could this Corypheus be sending people after me if he's asleep?
He can call, dream, but not know. When the seals are gone, he will wake. And he must die.
Why are you down here? How have you survived?
The calling. The music. It is our death.
The Wardens say once the corruption goes far enough, the Darkspawn can't sense you anymore.
Your last advantage is you throw yourself at them.
Yes. I lived. But I died. The corruption feeds me. So many years in darkness.
When you run off, where do you go?
I know the darkness before the seals. Here, the voice is too strong. I cannot stay.